Hi, welcome to the Aboriginal Centre of Excellence presentation to the CANDO Board of Directors meeting on February 22nd, 2012. The agenda today is number 1, what is ACE? Number 2, who are the partners? Number 3, an overview of the look and feel of ACE. Number 4, the startup costs and financing. Number 5, we'll have a look at the market and then some financial projections. We'll look at the ownership and governance of the organization, the management and operations, and after that we'll jump into the implementation plan, and then we'll summarize the major features and benefits of ACE and what the advantages are to CANDO, and finally we'll have some final thoughts and wrap-up comments. So number 1, what is ACE? It's the Aboriginal Centre of Excellence. It's an incorporated entity, incorporated federally, and it's focusing on lands and economic development issues for First Nations across Canada. It's a private and public partnership between CANDO, Walter Cornus, Rick Saul, and Spring Salt, and the federal and provincial governments. It's going to provide real-life information, and it'll be a best practices provider, which means it'll provide on-demand information, and as well it's going to have a professionally staffed website, so it will be interactive and not just static. An important part of it, it's going to provide training and individual capacity building for the members. It's also going to provide tested, practical, and useful tools that have been used with EDOs in the past, and the services are going to be continuously upgraded on a regular basis, and it'll grow over time. ACE will also provide live streaming video and podcasting services. And as I mentioned before, there'll be a qualified, scheduled staff helpline to help out the members. So ultimately, it's an EDO interactive site for EDOs. And as I mentioned before as well, these services will build over time. So where are we now? We've been developing the ACE website, new content, and other things to get the site going. We've currently started beta testing with an initial group of EDOs in southwestern Ontario. And the site right now and the site will be at go2ace.ca. Right now it's more of a back-end site that's being used for testing purposes. ACE has also hosted a couple of funding forums bringing together various EDOs, key players in economic development, and government funders together in London to get together for a day and figure out where things are in terms of funding opportunities. And as well, ACE has also been involved in the initiative, at least in Ontario, which is housing as a business. Moving on to the partners. The first partner is CANDO, and as you're aware, it's a national organization which has been serving the diverse needs of EDOs for 21 years, and they focus on education and professional development. We're also looking at another Aboriginal organization to be identified that could form a minority partner in ACE, and this could be, for example, NALMA or NACA. And finally, the other partners are Walter Cornus, Rick Saul, and Spring Salt, and they bring 30 years of experience to the Aboriginal economic development field, and they have a proven track record in economic development and community development, as well as expertise in financial issues, and they've done a number of successful EDO training programs and workshops. So let's look now at the 25 areas of ACE, and just to give you an idea of how it's going to feel, these areas will be incorporated into somewhat of a mock website as we proceed. So number 1, complete business plans. We want to have a whole library of real business plans that people can refer to and get a good idea of what these businesses are about, what's required to go into a business plan, and so on. And it'll be a wide range of business opportunities, and that'll be dictated largely by the types of communities that we're going to have and the opportunities that those communities have on their First Nation. Number 2 is market studies. Similar to the business plans, we want to have a wide variety of market studies for EDOs to refer to and understand different opportunities in different markets. Number 3, the same holds true for feasibility studies, depending upon what's popular or what the opportunities are at a specific time, and these can range from gaming to pharmacies to golf courses. Number 4, terms of references. Every week we must get calls from some EDOs saying, do you have a terms of reference for a small business center? Or do you have one for how to purchase a business? So we'd like to come up with a library of terms of references that people can refer to and use so they don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. And this will be incorporated as well into some training sessions that we'll have and we'll look at later on. ACE will also have a section that'll focus on purchasing a business. It's a good opportunity. Sometimes it's better than creating a business from scratch. So how to find a business, how to evaluate businesses, what to look for when you're negotiating. And we'll have some solid case studies and training to complement that. The same holds true for purchasing a franchise. Not as common as other opportunities, but still it's another opportunity that should be investigated where there's a need. Partnerships and joint ventures. It'll consist of memorandums of understanding, how to conduct due diligence on partners, whether it's an individual or whether it's a corporate joint venture. How do these projects get governed and how do they get negotiated? What are the dispute mechanisms? Those items will be covered as well. Number 8, this is a big part of ACE, funding and financing. We want to have the ability to have our database capture every single funding opportunity, which will be updated in Canada. As we roll out, we'll do whatever provinces are part of ACE first. But this will give people a good idea of what's out there, not just government money, but also monies from foundations or private money, such as the company 3M, who are always looking for opportunities, at least in Ontario. And also congratulations and announcements for successful projects that have gotten off the ground. Those are good to mention as well. Housing will form an important part of this. The for-profit model of housing as a business, and then the CMHC programming will also be incorporated in here. And also we'll have obviously access to experts in the area who can best talk about this subject. Project management, another area which I think will be a very useful tool. How to plan projects, how to set them up, how to map them out, how to work on budgets and monitoring them, and how to adjust as you go along. There'll be a number of resources as well as training opportunities, which we'll talk about in a second. Energy is another big area, obviously, and we'll have a section on solar, wind, or various energy opportunities that EDOs are involved in. Be able to talk to people in the industry, experts, and so on and so forth.